So the brand new iPhone 13 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy S21 Plus are two of the best phones on the market, boasting top-tier flagship specs, 3 cameras, a great display, great features, and selling at exactly the same price. It leads to the question of which one's actually better. Well, in this video, we're going to dive into these two phones and compare them head to head to see which one is actually the better buy. Now, I want to clarify that while many people have a preference, I am neither an Apple fanboy nor a Samsung fanboy. I've actually had both an Android and an iPhone in my pocket every single day for the past year, and so this comparison, it's pretty easy for me to be objective. I know what these phones do well and what they don't do well, and depending on what you need a phone for, one of these is going to be a clear winner. So with that being said, let's jump into this video. I want to start off with some of the physical differences that you might notice, obviously, right out of the box. So what better place to start than the front of these phones? The displays have some very interesting trade-offs. While the iPhone now has 120 Hz, that's no longer a difference, but there are plenty of other differences. For example, you'll see the iPhone has a slightly better resolution and their True Tone display, meaning that you're going to see things a little bit better on the iPhone, but you are getting a bigger display and no notch on the Galaxy S21 Plus. With a 6.7-inch display versus 6.1, you definitely have a lot more room for media. And on top of that, you'll see the aspect ratio is also very different, giving this a very grippable feel despite being such a large display. Of course, the reason for that notch is because you have Face ID on the iPhone, which is a great way to sign in if your hands are wet or if you're wearing gloves, or if you just glance at your phone and sign in, it seems to be a very quick way to do that. But of course, if you're wearing a mask of any sort, the fingerprint sensor on the Galaxy S21 Plus is going to be the superior way to sign in. So it really depends on your situation. Both of them are great ways to use biometrics. On the right side of both the iPhone and the Galaxy, we have our power button, but on the Galaxy, we also have our volume controls. Personally, I have gotten used to that. Originally, I really disliked that because it feels like a stretch for your thumb to reach all the way up there, while on the iPhone, it is nice that you can have the power button with one thumb and then the volume with your other finger. But the downside of the iPhone there is that many people, myself included, will accidentally take screenshots all the time when you take the phone out of your pocket. The iPhone is also more dense, so while it is slightly smaller in its overall footprint, it is slightly heavier than the Galaxy S21 Plus. And of course, while these are two very popular phones on the market right now, the new Pixel 6 is set to come out very soon. So if you want to see a comparison between either one of these phones and the Pixel 6, definitely go down and click that subscribe button so you don't miss it when that comes out. Looking a bit closer, you'll see that along with the lack of a notch, the bezels on the S21 Plus are also slightly slimmer, giving you a slightly better screen-to-body ratio. And of course, the overall design of this, the aesthetic, well, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So I'll let you comment below and let me know which one you think looks better, but I'll give you my own thoughts. I'll say that the rounded edges on the Galaxy S21 Plus make it look and feel like a slimmer, more sleek device. However, the boxier design of the iPhone, in my opinion, I think looks a little bit more premium. I really like the clear glass around the camera bumps, although the camera bump is slightly larger on the iPhone. The iPhone comes in 4 different colors, while the Galaxy comes in 5 different colors. And these are both very durable designs, but talking about the durability and the colors, sometimes you want your phone to be a little more durable, or maybe you want a different aesthetic on here. And that ties into the sponsor of today's video, which is Rhinoshield. No matter which phone you buy, Rhinoshield offers a ton of cases and accessories, allowing you to make your phone stronger, more durable, and customize the aesthetic to exactly what you want. So for example, you can put your favorite basketball team on the back, or you can put a picture of my face, as you can see right here. Rhinoshield offers not only extremely protective, but also very sleek looking cases with tons of awesome designs and customization options. They also have exclusive case selections with NASA, PewDiePie, and many other big names. And while Rhinoshield has tons of protective and stylish cases, they also have tons of other accessories as well, such as AirPods cases or even a cable to plug in your iPhone, because as you might know, the iPhone ships with a USB Type-C to Lightning cable, and if you don't have a Type-C charging block, you might want to get a USB Type-A cable from Rhinoshield. They also ship worldwide with free shipping for qualified orders, and on top of that, they have a lifetime replacement warranty for their cases. They're available for all iPhones and most flagship Android devices, so pretty much no matter what device you're using, the S21 Plus or the iPhone, you should be able to get a case from Rhinoshield. If you're looking to get a case for your phone, you can head on down to the description of this video, click on that link, it'll take you over to Rhinoshield, and using the code O'Brien, that's O-B-R-I-E-N with no apostrophe, that'll give you 20% off of your order. So special thanks to Rhinoshield for sponsoring this video. Definitely go check them out. I highly encourage it. They have fantastic cases. Thanks for sponsoring. Let's get back to the video. So continuing on with the back of these phones, I'm not going to talk too much about the cameras right now because we will get into a full camera test to see how they perform in photos and videos. but just a quick notice here, you'll see that the camera bump is definitely a little smaller and more subtle on the Galaxy S21 Plus, but that's not really the main focus here. The main focus is what's hidden underneath the back of these phones. Now, on the iPhone, of course, we have Magsafe under there, which is, in my opinion, a fantastic way to integrate this with wireless charging. For a while, wireless charging was a great way to charge your phone, but you have to place it in the right location. And if you want to have a grip on the back of your phone, or if you want to have like a case or a wallet, or if you want to have this mounted in your car, then you need to have other accessories. And so having Magsafe, I've said it before and I'll say it again, is a fantastic way. I use it all the time in my car. It's a fantastic way to mount this and charge it at the same time. So a wireless charging stand that magnetically holds your phone in your car, I mean, I love it. I'm so happy that they did that, but it's missing something that the Galaxy S21 does have. So while the S21 Plus doesn't have Magsafe, it does actually have reverse wireless charging, which we believe to be, like, the iPhone 13 is probably capable of that, so maybe someday they'll release it, but at least at the time of making this video, they don't have that feature on here. And that's something that I'd love to have, and I really wish the iPhone had that, because on the Galaxy, I use it all the time to charge up my earbuds, to charge up my watch, to charge up even other phones. Having a charger on the back of your phone is really a fantastic way to get more functionality out of here. And on top of that, if you're traveling and you only have one cable, I can plug in my phone and then charge my iPhone too. So instead of bringing two different charging cables, I always just bring USB Type-C, charge this, and then I'll charge my iPhone using this as a wireless charging pad, which ties into the other little annoyance with the iPhone. I do really prefer the USB Type-C on, like I said, on the Galaxy device right here. I think USB Type-C is much more universally accepted for tablets, for phones, for earbuds, and almost any other device out there. The fact that the iPhone is still using Lightning is a little bit frustrating. One last little note on the physical design of the iPhone. Of course, I think it is an advantage to have a physical switch on the side to go into silent mode. If you're going to a meeting or any situation where you want to be sure your phone is not making noise, having a physical switch, I think, is a convenient way to do that. Of course, there are gestures on the Galaxy, putting it upside down, all types of settings like that do work, but still an advantage for the iPhone. And lastly, while I really do like the boxy design of the iPhone, you want to keep in mind that it does get a lot of fingerprints. Fingerprints are far more subtle and almost impossible to see on the Galaxy phone. Okay, so looking at the photos, you can see that here you have a little bit more detail in the iPhone, and as is typical, the Galaxy is slightly more saturated. In an open field, again, the saturation, especially with greens, is very obvious. The iPhone 13 Pro does have a macro mode, while the Galaxy does not. And then in dark, very, very dark photos, you can see they both did a good job, but the iPhone definitely pulled ahead here. Once again, the white balance is slightly better on the iPhone, where the flowers look a little blue with Galaxy, but when you go outside in a bright daylight situation with the ultra wide and with the wide, I see very few differences at all. These are both fantastic photos. They handled everything very similarly, and really the color of the grass is one of the few differences you can really see here. When you zoom into 15 or even 30x, even though the Galaxy is more capable of zooming, they both look pretty similar. Now, the Galaxy has its day with the front-facing camera. The iPhone, for some reason, really struggles with dynamic range. This is a huge one right here. So for a quick video test, this is the iPhone 13. We're sitting indoors in my studio, so leave a comment. Let me know how you think this handles skin tones and how it sounds. So now for a quick video test, this is the Samsung Galaxy S21 Plus. Leave a comment and let me know how this handles skin tones and how it sounds. This is a selfie camera video with the Galaxy S21 Plus. And this is a selfie video with the iPhone 13 Pro. I think my skin looks a little more olivey and my eyes look like really green with this, but leave a comment. Let me know which of these you prefer. So as you see here, they both do a pretty decent job stabilizing when you're walking. Again, the Galaxy seems to be a little more saturated, but leave a comment and let me know which of these looks better. Now, of course, with that being said, we can't really conclude this without looking at the internals of these devices. And by that I mean the processor, the specs, things of that nature. And to keep it brief, they're both very impressive. And on the iPhone, of course, we have the brand new A15 Bionic, whereas on the Galaxy, we have the Snapdragon 888. And it's tempting to compare the battery size and the RAM as a one-to-one, but the fact is, iPhone and Androids treat battery and RAM slightly differently. So I can just say this, they're both incredibly powerful phones, they both have more than enough battery life to get even the biggest power users through a day, and as far as RAM goes, I've never had any problem with these. But with that being said, the software itself is also incredibly important. We're gonna get into the camera and how that ties in with software in a second, but using both these phones, of course, ecosystems are a huge argument for Samsung as well as for Apple, and I am going to make a full comparison video because I honestly can't cram that into this video. I'll talk about the ecosystems of both iPhone and Android, or Samsung really, in that video, so if you want to see that, go on down and click that subscribe button. We'll talk about other devices, laptops, tablets, watches, everything you'll need to know, but there are some very definite differences and certain differences with these devices. So while it's hard to say which one's better between iOS and Android, what I can say are the things that I think are better on one or the other. So starting off with Android, for one, the Samsung device here, if you're an audiophile, you do have better codecs on here. You have access to aptX, among several other codecs as well, whereas on the iPhone, you're really going to be capped out at AAC. So if you're not an audiophile, or if you don't know what that is, probably not a big deal. But what might be a big deal are other peripheral devices as well. Besides headphones and Bluetooth earbuds, you also have more options for smartwatches with the Galaxy device. And smartwatches are interesting because while one of the best watches in the industry right now, or probably the best as far as general smartwatches go, is the Apple Watch, and that only works with the iPhone. But if you care a little bit more about the aesthetics, or if you're looking for different things in particular, you have more options with the Android. And now, of course, the thing about Wear OS is that they're moving this year from the old Wear OS to a new type of Wear OS, which is only compatible with Android devices. And so that means in the past, if you had an iPhone, sure, you can get the Fossil Gen 5 or really any Android smartwatch, but now you can't. So that's going to be a little bit more important to some people, and you want to keep that in mind. Of course, on the iPhone, you are getting Blue Messages, and iMessage, in my opinion, is far better than Google's RCS right now. I've had so many problems with that, it being buggy, whereas iMessage is just always very smooth and seamless. So Blue Messages are definitely a win there. On top of that, you have Nearby Share with Android, and you've got plenty of other Samsung things for quick share and things like that, but airdropping between my iMac and my tablets or my iPads and this device is still a little bit ahead of Nearby Share. So while Android's making a lot of progress on that front and really matching up with iOS, in some ways, the ecosystem on iOS is just a little bit more advanced. Of course, that's my personal preference, but we can't discount Samsung and their software. While this is running Android, it has OneUI on top of that, meaning that it is absolutely jam-packed with Samsung software. Most of it is really impressive. So you have things like the Edge panel to Samsung DeX, which allows you to actually use this as an entire desktop computer, and you have other things like Dual Messenger, among many others. So overall, which is actually the better phone to buy? Well, both the iPhone 13 Pro and the Galaxy S21 Plus are fantastic phones. And what I think is interesting, however, is that while the iPhone 13 Pro is essentially Apple's top-tier phone, meaning it's right up there next to the iPhone 13 Pro Max, they're the same phone, just a different size, the Galaxy S21 Plus is not Samsung's best phone. So even though the iPhone might have a slight edge here, you might want to compare this to the Galaxy S21 Ultra. I chose the S21 Plus because it's the same price, but if you guys want to see a comparison between the iPhone 11 or 13 Pro Max versus the S21 Ultra, leave a comment below and I'll compare those. But as far as these two phones go, well, I think it comes down to this. On the iPhone, personally, I think the cameras do a better job in low light, in videos, and in many situations with their cameras, with still shots, but not necessarily with selfies. But on top of that, I really do like Magsafe, and I think the smooth ecosystem, well, there is something to be said about that. But for anybody else who is more of a feature junkie, you love having like Samsung DeX on here, a lot of other capabilities, reverse wireless charging, and a lot of other things along those lines, then the Galaxy S21 Plus is going to be a really solid buy. The good thing is, no matter which one you buy, I don't think you'll be disappointed. And I think it's going to come down to essentially, what are you looking for in your phone? Are you a power user? Are you a gamer? Are you an entrepreneur running a business? Or are you looking for somebody to just have a fast, smooth phone that gets out of your way when you don't need it? Regardless of what you are, which of these phones do you think is better? Leave a comment below and let me know if you're on Team iPhone or on Team Galaxy. Like I said in the beginning, I hope this didn't come across as me being an Apple or a Galaxy fanboy. I really like both these phones, and I will continue to have both of them in my pockets. But leave a comment below. And if you enjoy this video, consider liking and subscribing. I'm Mike O'Brien, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.